Thank you. I'm going to try not to cry. To GTE, to Chuck Lee, to Dick Enberg, and to the esteemed members of the Hall of Fame. What an incredible privilege and honor it is to be asked to join you in such an exclusive club. I'm honored to accept. As the oldest of 5 children of a widowed 21-year-old African-American mother, as the only child of a 22-year-old African-American father who chose suicide as his way out, with me in the room with him, the oldest sister of a 19-year-old African-American brother who was murdered, shot 5 times. He was a victim of the streets, a survivor of domestic abuse, and an inner-city kid who was faced with hopelessness every day. It's been by the grace of God that I stand here today, and by the grace of God that I had some pretty special and extraordinary people in my life to guide me. People who taught me that the labels associated with where I come from don't have to lead to welfare, prison, or worse. Instead, they taught me that I can achieve and I can learn positive things from adverse situations. Tonight is a tribute to those very special and extraordinary people who helped mold me into the person that I am today. Let me begin with my mother, Gwendolyn Jones Harris, who's sitting right there. Although I didn't realize it until recently, my mother has always been my role model. In the late 1960s and 70s in Houston, she was an activist, a freedom fighter, a radical. She was what we call in the movement. She was always fighting for minority rights, for blacks, for the poor, for women. And there I was, no choice in the matter, so to honor hip, absorbing her inspiration, it was she and I against the world. My mother taught me the importance of education. It took her 8 years to graduate from Texas Southern University. People don't know this, but I served my first 6 years of life there. My mother told me that although she couldn't afford to pay my way through college, she told me that my brain could, and ultimately it did. She instilled in me a sense of responsibility to help my people, that it's important to stand up for your rights and sometimes for the rights of others who don't have a voice, that you have to have the courage to stand tall, even when you find yourself standing alone. Believe me when I tell you that anyone who strives to achieve anything meaningful in life will eventually find her or himself standing alone, sometimes grappling with feelings of self-doubt, sometimes wondering if it's all worth it. When I look back on my college career, I realize that I was my mother. I was the student activist, the rights equalizer, the one standing up for the needs of women, the one struggling to put the student back in student athlete, the one rallying for the survival of non-revenue sports, the one standing up for those of us who, for whatever reason, were overlooked, all the while striving to be the best athlete that I could be. Thank you for that legacy, Mama. Next, I must give thanks to my grandmother, Claudina Jones, whom everyone knows simply as Dear. It was Dear who gave me my love of people. She taught me about devotion, loyalty, and total commitment to the task at hand. She also taught me about sincerity, kindness, and honesty. Most importantly, she gave me my unshakable faith in God. Although my grandmother has lost 3 children to suicide, 1 to murder, and 1 to liver disease this year, she continues to believe faithfully in God because she knows he doesn't make mistakes. She's the only person that I know unequivocally is going to heaven. And believe me, I've met a lot of people. I'd like to thank my grandmother for teaching me about honesty and truth. Anyone who knows me knows that although I'm a loyal friend, I'm brutally honest. A criticism of me has been that I'm too honest, whatever that means. But as the great writer once said, the most political act you can commit is to tell the truth. And I am indeed a political person. There are several other people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank my son, Giovanni. Where are you, man? Wave to Mommy. I see you. He's right there. You've inspired me so much to keep on fighting when it appeared there was no reason to keep on fighting. It's been me and you against the world, and it'll probably be me and you against the world. My sisters, Uchenna and Ifoma, thanks for keeping me grounded, because you know sometimes you can get out there. And Ifoma, I expect to see her standing up here herself, because not only has she maintained a 3.2 GPA, She also just finished 5th at the NCAA Heptathlon Championships. So GTE, are you listening? Like big sister, like little sister, I hope and I guess. I'd like to thank all my aunts, uncles, and extended family and friends for contributing to me each in your own special way. To Kim and Crystal and Kathy, you know what you did. Thanks also to my family from California who are sitting right over here, who traveled such an incredible distance to be here. I'd like to take and make a special thank you to Billy McGillis and Diane Howell. I don't know if they're here. I hope that they are. But respectively, their past and present associate athletic directors at the University of Houston both appreciated the student and student athlete. To Glenn Gerke, the former president of the University of Houston, thank you so much for your commitment to and your intelligent management of the University of Houston. I especially want to thank those professors who put up with my incessant questions from the front row of my classes. What most of them don't understand is that most of my classmates swore they wouldn't have passed those classes had it not been for my constant barrage of questions. Doctors Lentz, Curry, Brown, Oppenheimer, Williams, Curtis, and Curry, who I believe is here, thank you for being here. A huge thank you, and you know who you are. I'd also like to thank Dorothy Doolittle, who recruited me and who was the sole reason I went to the University of Houston. Thanks to Coach Tellez, Mike Takaha, Leroy Burrell. I'd also like to thank Alois Blackwell, Chet Gladchuk, Todd Stansberry, and Dr. Alex Brown for help steadying the course of UH student athletics into the new millennium. And finally, I'd like to thank my ex-boss, Tim Brown. He's my mentor, colleague, and friend. Thank you so much for helping me avoid the many pitfalls that baby self-employed lawyers encounter. Hey, that's me. Let me close with this story. While working in corporate America, representing wealthy individuals and corporations, I agonized over what I really wanted to do, which was to help people who, like me, grew up poor. I'd gotten up in that get-rich-quick mentality, and I was terrified and insecure about striking out on my own. I mean, no guaranteed income, health benefits, a mortgage, a car note, and most importantly, a beautiful son to take care of. After soul-searching for over a year, I finally went to my grandmother dear, and I explained how conflicted I was. She looked at me and said simply, "Sweetheart, you've always succeeded at whatever you set your mind to. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you'll do okay in your own practice." It's amazing, you know, but she didn't need to say anything else. As simply as that, the albatross was lifted, my confidence soared. Within a week, I had to resign and begin my happy, exciting, scary new life as my own boss. And I've never looked back. Let my life be an example to parents, grandparents, to teachers, to coaches, to administrators. You are capable of bolstering a young person's confidence and helping them to achieve great things just by simply saying that you believe in them. I'm a living witness to that. And I want to remind students of the importance of finding people who support you and your abilities. You may have to look farther than your biological family, but if you look hard enough, you'll find them. Again, I'd like to thank Chuck Lee for this extraordinary honor, GTE's celebration of the total student, athlete, person encourages me, and it should encourage each of you to reach out and help mold some young person. Thank you very much.
Giovanni, Mom did really well, didn't she?